Hi there. Okay. I just have a little bit of encouragement and stuff to just share. I found my awesome notebook from Girls Retreat, and there's just a couple things in here that I thought I could share with the bloggers since I haven't updated anything in a while. Um, One thing was that whenever you hit trials or hardships or just times of I don't know if I can go on, I don't know if I can do this anymore, this race, it's a hard race. It's not a little jog around the house. It's a full blown marathon, and it goes and goes and goes. But when you're struck with like the hardships and fear, and you're like, why is this happening to me? One thing that I found in my book that could help us is when hard times hit, rather than being discouraged and just thinking, oh, this is ridiculous. Why me? This is terrible. View it as encouragement because the devil sees you as so much of a threat that he's trying to derail you. He's trying to mess you up because you're headed the right way with God, and your Jesus path is interjecting in his destruction path, and he sees you as such a problem and such a, an issue in comparison to what he's trying to do, that he's trying to mess you up. So when you defeat him, you'll be even stronger. Then there's this verse that I've always liked. If we think about it, like we always say to our friends, oh, I would die for you, or our loved ones, oh, I would die for you, I'd do anything for you, yada yada. But would we really do that? Because we're, as humans, I think a lot of us at least are afraid of death. And to say that we would die for someone, that's a really big thing. Like, it's cute to say, but it's a really big deal. And Jesus really did that. And then there's a verse here. It's Romans 5:6-7, and it says, you see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man, I think it's unrighteous because I wrote it wrong. Though for a good man, someone might possibly die. If you think about that, like, if there's this great person, they're just a good person, they do good to everyone, and they're just amazing, and everyone loves them. Someone might consider, okay, I love this person, I'm going to throw myself in front of this bus to save them. Because, I mean, there has been times where people have died for people, like but I think about that person who's hurt you, or that person who's betrayed you, or that person who, you're not a huge fan of. Think about that person walking out in front of a bus. Would you be throwing yourself in front of that bus to save that person? That's exactly what Jesus did for us. Because we're supposed to follow him and love him, and we're supposed to stop, well, not entirely stop sinning because we're humans and we sin, but we're supposed to be trying to live like Jesus. And again and again and again, we just spit in his face, and we just like go on with our lives, and we justify this sin in this way, and we say this sin is okay because of this, when he gave up his life for people who didn't deserve it at all. And so if you think about that, it's really kind of sad and scary that he gave up his life for people who didn't in the slightest little bit deserve it at all. But that's you. But at the same time, get encouragement out of that as well. Because Jesus, God loved his children so much that he sent his perfect son so that he could die in the place of unworthy, filthy, disgusting people. And that's something that within itself is incomprehensible. That's real love. Okay, I'm not gonna get into love though, because that's a whole other blog. But when we think about loving people, there's just this little verse here we did in Merge, little snippet of a verse, and it says, I think it's about going out and sharing the gospel, and it says, in all of Judea, and Judea was their home, and then in all of Samaria, and Samaria was their enemies, and in all of the ends of the earth, everyone, you're supposed to go. So you're not supposed to go, hey friend, I was concerned about you, I'm praying for you, Jesus is, he's good. And you're not supposed to just go to enemies, which I don't think anyone just goes to enemies, but you're supposed to go to your best friend and to the person who hates you. And you're supposed to help them understand and show them the light in some ways. And if you're shy about that, or you don't have the courage to approach people, just remember that it doesn't matter what you look like or how you act. All that matters is what you're looking toward, and that you have your eyes fixed on God, and God will give you the right words. He will give you words that can change someone's entire life. I know it for a fact. You'll be in a conversation with someone, and you'll just be like, I don't know what I'm doing here, and all of a sudden you'll just be like, blah, 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 and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? That's kind of how my first video happened. Like, I was just kind of like, oh, merch was really cool, I learned a lot, let me talk to my computer about it. And then all this, like, sweet feedback came from it, and I was like, God is working here. I guess something else I would suggest is, an accountability partner, because I have an accountability partner. We haven't really been keeping up on tabs as much as we should be, but it's just a matter of when you're around each other, for every accountability partner it's different. For me and my accountability partner, we take each other's phones and we click through, and we just make sure that they're not engaging in any conversations that wouldn't be pleasing to God, and just that they're on the right track. And then you spend time with them, you check up on their Facebook if they have one or whatever, and you're just kind of like checking up on them, seeing how they're doing, making sure they're on the right track, helping them along their path, and you're there for them, and you're there to be kind of their other half that is their voice of reason rather than just their voice of want, which is usually within themselves. And I think that's really cool. It was really, really sweet to have an accountability partner. It helps a lot. I'm so weird in my notebooks. I write like in random areas that get messed up. I guess wherever you feel that God is leading you right now, no matter where it is, you have to be prepared for anything. And just when you think that things are going well, it's going to come down on you again, because nothing can ever stay perfect in this life, because this is earth. This is, the devil reigns here. This is earth. This isn't heaven. And I guess one question you can ask yourself, and just maybe write this down, or just think about it for a while and ask yourself this a lot, and just be like, God loves me, and He wants to be in my presence at all times. And He wants me with Him, and He knows that heaven is a better place for me. So why are you here? Why am I here? And I'm sure anytime you ask yourself that question, you have to think, there's something for me here. There's something for me to do. There's a plan. There's a mission for me. And, just go through your life thinking something's got to change. There's something big going on. And I think that will open up like a whole world of differences, and it'll just be really life-changing for you if you just remember that you're here because there's a plan. Which I know we all know that, but I'll elaborate on that a little bit later. But for now, just keep thinking about, why am I here, and keep thinking about how if you're discouraged, that it's only the devil trying to derail you, trying to make you stop messing with his plan, which is terrible. Like, his plan is bad. And then just remember that that Jesus died for you when you didn't deserve it at all. So if we're going to really love people, we have to love them with the kind of attitude that's like, you know what, I love you the way Jesus loved me, which is we're not capable of loving the way Jesus did, but, you have to love people and really love people. And so just remember that you've been loved, so you should love in return. So yeah, thanks.